All right, guys. Bitcoin dumping today. I was gonna make a video earlier when that CZ Binance news came out, and I was like, you know what? We'll just wait and see what happens with the markets because everybody's so emotional. Everybody's a big wimp, and this is kind of like what we call the normal noise of the market. So we got Bitcoin down to 36,318. So we've dumped $1,000 since this news came out. What news are we talking about? The big news everybody's talking about. CZ Binance was basically brought up on charges by the federal government. He pleaded guilty. He has to step down from running Binance, and he may also get sentenced to jail. We don't know yet. I believe his actual sentencing isn't for another 6 months. So what you're seeing right now is kind of the after effects. I look at this news and I'm kind of like, yeah, so guys, this is like normal noise. The SEC has been going after CZ. 6 months ago, they came out. They said they were going after CZ. CZ Binance hired one of the like a bunch of criminal attorneys, so we knew he was probably going to get charged criminally. Um, so this is like not a shock. That's why I've been telling everybody like don't hold BNB. I've always said BNB is the most risky coin you can hold. Actually, I wonder if BNB is dumping harder than yeah. So BNB is down like the most 11 12%. You guys can find my videos over the last year. Don't hold BNB. Don't hold BNB. Don't hold any exchange token, but especially BNB. The regulators have it out for CZ Binance. If you're on Binance.us, get the fuck out of there. I've been telling everybody that. So that's where we are, guys. They came after CZ. He got charged. He has to step down. And on top of that, they ended up fining Binance like I think $4 billion. So here's an article: Binance to settle charges with U.S. DOJ report. So Binance isn't going away, but they are going to have to pay a $4 billion fine. Also, they came out, Department of Justice, and said they're going to be monitored. So for the next, I believe, year, Binance Corporation has to be monitored by like a government official. So every little thing they're doing has to be looked after. Now, look, guys, Binance didn't play by the rules. There's no other way to put it. They were not KYCing people. There's leaked memos where CZ came out and he said, "Look, we're not gonna KYC people because we want that American business." They did all sorts of shady things by allowing big players allowing big players from the United States to stay on Binance, but small players like myself, because I was on Binance a few years ago, they kicked me right off. They kicked me right off Binance, and I had to start a Binance.us account. They kicked me off, but they were allowing the big players with millions and millions of dollars to stay on, and they would just kind of put them as unknown in their books, and they wouldn't even make them KYC. So none of this is surprising. Are the criminal charges surprising? Not really, because CZ, like I said, hired a criminal attorney. Look, all this stuff is predictable. But as far as the Bitcoin price, that's what everybody wants to know. Oh, is it over for Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin going to zero now? No, guys, this is just the normal overreaction from negative news about crypto. This isn't even about crypto. It's about Binance. So this isn't about Bitcoin. This isn't about Cardano. This isn't about Ethereum. It's about Binance, and maybe you could say BNB. It's about BNB as well. Now, we also had the SEC come out today, and they're going after Kraken, which we also knew. Kraken's a smaller exchange. This has been rumored for a while. They were probably going to go after Kraken. The U.S. crypto exchange is the latest targeted by the Securities and Exchange Commission, in a series of similar actions being fought in court by other companies. So yeah, the SEC going after Kraken, but the CEO of Kraken has already come out and he made a tweet and he said they're going to fight it, just like Coinbase fought it. And Kraken actually has a lot of money. Not as much money as Coinbase, but they have money and they've come out. We strongly disagree with the SEC claims, stand firm in our view that we do not list securities. So of course they came out and they said, oh, you're listing securities, Solana, Cardano, I forget, Polygon, every big top cryptocurrency, except for XRP. So that's why I told you guys, you got to be in XRP because of the clarity. But essentially every coin, they're like, okay, you're listing securities. This is the same exact thing they said to Coinbase 6 months ago. They said, Coinbase, you're listing securities. And Coinbase said, no, we're not. We're not going to take anything off our site, and we're going to fight you. And I think that the SEC is going to lose this battle. And so you have it right here. Kraken's going to fight it. So this is going to be months and months and months of litigation. I mean, how long was Ripple in litigation? For what, 2 or 3 years? Years, guys, years. I mean, we're going to be way into the next bear market before this thing gets settled. So, guys, this is a typical overreaction of somewhat bad news. Not even bad news, just like you could call it negative news, because some crypto exchanges are being targeted by the SEC, which we already knew. Crypto dumped $1,000. BNB, you should never be in BNB. It's a shit coin. It's an exchange coin. We knew the SEC was going after them big time, and we knew if anything negative came out about Binance, that BNB was going to dump the hardest. So I'm not a big believer in BNB. Now, if BNB ends up dumping like 80%, maybe I'll pick some up. All right, so that's that news. Is there anything really positive to talk about? I mean, I think everything really hasn't even changed. Like I said, Binance is still going to be there, guys. Binance isn't going away. They're going to pay a fine and continue operating, and CZ will not be running it anymore. Fine. He ran Binance long enough. We knew he was up to some shadiness, and bye-bye CZ. Who fucking cares? Bye-bye CZ. So here is CNBC today. Here's some good news. They have Brian Kelly, big Bitcoin bull. He's one of the guys I was listening to when I first got into crypto, and he's pretty much talking about this is going to be an extremely bullish year for crypto.
It's great to be here. Great to be back.
What's new, BK? I mean,
What's new? What's new? Yeah, I mean,
the audience. But you've been operating your Bitcoin fund still.
Yeah,
correct?
Yep. Still involved in Bitcoin every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never stops. But it's been an interesting year. You know, I mean, in the last year we've had gone from everything from FTX to now all of a sudden Argentina potentially, you know, they've elected a pro-Bitcoin president. Yep. So the momentum and sentiment has changed dramatically in that market.
And then not to mention all the potential Bitcoin ETF filings that are still in the wings here.
Right.
So where do you see, you know, you don't have a price target necessarily on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But what are you thinking in terms of where you are now?
So there's a couple things. We know in the past that Bitcoin has had these 2-year cycles that are generally centered around the halvening. And so we have another halvening coming up in April. And I'm not one of those people that thinks the halvening is the actual catalyst, but
yes,
it's one of those sentiment things that all of a sudden now you have a reduction in supply. Couple that with the fact that we have the Federal Reserve that is likely done for some time being of raising rates. If not, we don't think they're going to go to 10%. Maybe they go to 5.5%, right? And then the second part of that is we now have these ETF filings. So for the first time ever, just like the gold ETF, you're going to have retail investors, not that they couldn't buy it before, but now registered investment advisors, your Morgan Stanley wealth manager can allocate to this. And so that's what got the market excited about this new ETF.
All right, Beeks, you just named a bunch of catalysts for the Bitcoin to keep going higher. What do you think the core is? You know, is it just digital gold, you know, versus like we often hear lots of folks come on and just say they should be allocated to that. You know, we've had the dollar come in, and obviously Bitcoin has been trading pretty well with that. What's the core thesis right now? If you missed out this run over the last year, and sentiment was really bad a year ago at this time, and now it's up, what, 200% or so. Why should people be allocating low single digits percentage of their investable capital to Bitcoin right now?
So I think the easiest way to think about it is digital gold. If you have a portfolio and you've got some of it that you want allocated to gold, and let's call that for inflation reasons, your work.
So anyway, we're not going to listen to the whole thing, but this is a CNBC. CNBC is shilling the crap out of cryptocurrency right now. Almost every show on CNBC is essentially talking about Bitcoin in some way or another. So guys, my point is, Bitcoin's doing just fine. This is a typical overreaction dump. It happens all the freaking time. Could we go down to 35,000? Yeah. Could we go down to 33,000? I don't know. Maybe. But we're going to bounce back hard, and that's all I'm saying. This is just typical noise that you have to learn to ignore. I know a lot of newbies in the market are selling all their shit right now. The only thing you should be selling is BNB. Do not be in BNB. But XRP is still hanging out at 58 cents. Everything's doing pretty much fine. It's just kind of dumping with Bitcoin. But like I said, I believe Bitcoin is going to bounce back hard. Whether we're at 35,000, 36,000, we're bouncing back hard. All right, is there anything else to cover? We're not too much about BitBoy. I'm not going to talk too much about him today. We're just going to kind of talk about what's going on. Really, that's the big news today. You know, I wish there were more. I knew it. As soon as they came out with this news, I knew Bitcoin was going to dump. Like, Bitcoin was hanging out like 37. I'm like, no, what? There's no way. We're dumping. Like, we have to dump. Like there's so many weak hands out there in crypto that we have to dump. And that's exactly what happened. But guys, this is a buying opportunity. If you don't have any Bitcoin, maybe pick some up. If you're looking to get in some of these altcoins, maybe pick them up. But I can almost assure you this is going to be short term. Like I said, could we hang out here for a while? Maybe, but we still got the halving coming up. We have possible ETF news coming up. And like I said, Binance isn't going anywhere. They're paying a fine. CZ is going bye-bye. The cryptocurrency world will survive without CZ. Honestly, it was time for him to go. He had too many skeletons in his closet. We knew he's a good guy. I don't think he's like up to no good, but to operate a cryptocurrency business going back 8, 9 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever it was, you had to bend some rules. And now those chickens are coming home to roost. But even the government came out. They said, we don't want to destroy Binance. It could do too much harm to the overall cryptocurrency space. We just want them to pay a fine. That's what the government said. So the government doesn't even want to destroy it because they know how much harm it will do. They're going to settle on the fine. CZ is going away. That's it, guys. It's as simple as that. No big deal. Noise, noise, noise. And the most important thing about being in crypto is, can you ignore the noise? You're going to be watching a lot of other YouTubers tonight freaking out. Are we going to pump it? Or are we going to dump it? Like watching the price. Oh my God, we dumped $200. Oh my God, we're pumping. Oh my God, we're dumping. Guys, ignore that shit. Go out, do something else. Go out to the bar, get some drinks. This shit is fucking nothing. And like I said, if you don't have any crypto, might be a good time to buy some, because I think we're going to bounce back strong and we're probably going to be at $40,000 by this time next month. Could be wrong, but nothing has changed. And Binance still exists, and I'm sure Kraken will, like I said, the whole Kraken thing will drag out for years anyway. And if it doesn't, Kraken will just end up settling. So, and then Kraken has already said they're going to be fighting it. So we're probably looking at years. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.